guys, how are you doing? It's me, Stephanie. I know you guys are wondering, where have you been, Stephanie? What's been going on with you? Honestly, guys, I really had to take a break, especially when you're going through a deliverance. Sometimes you just have to take time for yourself and, just be one with God. And not everyone's going to understand that, you know what I mean? And it's good to recharge. Everybody has to recharge. But we're gonna get started. So happy Motivational Monday, guys. So what I'm gonna be doing is every Monday I will be uploading a video with uplifting messages, and I'm not gonna choose the topics. I'm gonna let God pick the topics. Okay, so we're gonna definitely have a new topic every Monday, and we're gonna start the week off right. So the topic today is, I have a good heart but I can't win. Okay, and I know many of you guys feel like you can't win having a good heart. It's like no matter how much you try to do good, no matter how much you give, it just feels like you're not getting anything back in return. It feels like you're consistently going on this hamster wheel. You're continuously being treated like you're not a person, like you have no heart, and people keep stepping all over you, and it feels like good hearts don't win. It always feels like actually the negative people win. It feels like the people that lie and steal always get ahead. And I want to just let you guys know that yes, sometimes people that lie and steal do get ahead, but they don't ever always stay there. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about the type of issues that good-hearted people go through. When you have a really, really good heart, you're consistently being used. Whether it's from family, whether it's from friends, whether it's from a lover, it feels like you're consistently being used. People that see that you have a good heart will try to take advantage of you. They will consistently ask you to do something. I'm going to start off with the workplace. Some of you guys felt like you have consistently, I just saw an orb, oh my God. Some of you guys, sorry, that always happens. Some of you guys feel like you have consistently been working nonstop, over and over and over and over and over again, and your work is not being appreciated. You are not getting the recognition that you deserve. But whoever your employer is keeps piling up work on you. Not only that, some of you guys, it could be with family. A lot of you guys feel like you've been there for other people, but no one has been there for you. It's like you're consistently giving time, giving your energy. It could be giving something financially, always just giving to other people, but it feels like nothing's given back to you. You could be giving a lot to charity, and it just feels like nothing is being given back to you. And a lot of the times you're not doing it because you want something back. You're literally just doing it because it's from the kindness of your heart. But the problem is that when you keep giving like that, people will always think you're going to always have your hand open for them to take from. Okay, and along with that comes with boundaries. We're going to get into values soon, which talks about the boundaries you guys are going to have to start setting for yourself, and the difference between being bitter and having boundaries. A lot of other things that people with good hearts experience is being lied to, and the reason why is because it could be you're in a relationship and your partner decides to end up lying to you because your partner doesn't want to hurt you. Most of the times people feel like, if I lied to this person, I won't hurt this person. They have a really big heart and I don't want to hurt this person. But people with good hearts actually want you to tell the truth. Even if it is going to hurt us, we want you to tell the truth. Leading us on and stringing us along is not going to help us. As a matter of fact, it makes things even worse. Okay, so a lot of you guys would rather someone being honest with you rather than lying to you. And this happens a lot to you guys who have big hearts. And sometimes people lie to you in order to use you, because they will tell you sob stories, or they will tell you things to make you feel bad for them in order for them to get their way. And this happens a lot in relationships. Also, it's also being lied on. Sometimes you guys with big hearts, you're like an easy target. You're a scapegoat. So what happens is people say, you know what? Even if I lie on this person, it's less likely that this person is going to defend themselves. It's less likely this person is going to confront me because they have a big heart and they avoid confrontation. They have a lot of anxiety. They're trying to avoid being depressed. They always want to stay positive as much as possible, and them exposing, the truth means they're going to have to expose me, and them having a big heart means they're not going to want to do that. Right? So that's why a lot of you guys are also easy targets, because you guys are not confrontational. You guys don't like the anxiety, etc. Right? So that happens a lot with you guys, when it comes to having a good heart. A lot of times, yes, you guys are being lied to, right? Even in relationships, I feel like A lot of you guys are being lied to a lot because it's not that you guys are naive. You just want people to treat you the way you want to be treated. And because of that, you mentally think in your mind, that person is going to treat me the way I want to be treated. My partner is going to treat me the way I want to be treated. My friend's going to treat me the way I want to be treated. And because you would not lie to these people, right? You think they're not going to lie to you. So right away, you guys are like an easy target. A lot of times those who have good hearts are abused because the abusers feel like I said before, you guys are an easy target. Okay, it's like you're not going to confront them. It makes them feel more powerful, right? So you can be dealing with someone who's very bitter, and them abusing you makes them feel more powerful than you. It's kind of like you feel their energy. You know what I mean? And because it's like a bully at school. The bully is not going to pick on another bully. The bully is going to try to team up with the other bully. That's why sometimes those that don't like you, they end up teaming up with each other. Bullies don't abuse bullies, right? Because they don't want to attack someone that is on their level. Okay, because then it's a challenge for them. So I want you guys to understand that when you're going through this stuff, don't feel like you're weak. Don't feel like you're naive. You have to have boundaries when you're going through this stuff. Sometimes people tend to abuse you because they feel like they can get away with it. You having a big heart means also you have to love yourself. You have to have a big enough heart to love yourself, to not tolerate any nonsense, to not tolerate any abuse, to not tolerate being discontent in any type of way. And if you feel like you should treat others the way you want to be treated, you have to understand that you got to also treat yourself the way you want to be treated. And treating yourself the way you want to be treated also means not allowing other people to treat you the way that you don't want to be treated. Okay, so next we're going to get into value. Valuing yourself enough to be treated right. Which means, yes, although you have a good heart, although you love people, you may love someone, it may be the hardest thing for you to let them go. You may love your family, it may be the hardest thing for you to let them go. You may love your friends, it may be the hardest thing for you to let them go. You may love that job, but it may be the hardest thing for you to let go. But what that also means is, if you have a hard time letting go of something that is toxic, something that is making you feel discontent, you are basically disrespecting yourself, and you are also lowering your values. Most of the times people say, okay, why is it the people who are bitter end up becoming successful? Why is it those who lie and steal end up becoming more successful? If you notice, a lot of the people who are bitter, a lot of people who lie and steal, they have like a lot of arrogance, but also they have very high confidence, right? And the thing about it is, even if they are insecure behind the scenes, because most of the times they are, that's why they're doing what they're doing, because there's a lot of insecurities within them. They just have a good way of masking it. They wear a mask and they're able to succeed. Now, there's a difference between someone who is bitter and wearing a mask, and they have to keep this mask on to be able to succeed, compared to someone who is not bitter, they are not wearing a mask, they do have a big heart, but then they are looked at as being bitter. They are accused as being bitter because why? They have boundaries. Most of the times when people get upset at the fact that you have boundaries, they will accuse you of being bitter. They will put you in the same category as someone that is actually bitter. And you may not be the person that steals and lies and hurts other people, but they know this. So most of the times when people accuse you of being bitter, and you know deep down that you have not been bitter, or you know deep down that you have been extremely nice to this person, you have been extremely grateful to this person, and you have been extremely giving to this person, but now you have boundaries, the only reason why they are saying you are acting different, you are bitter, you switched up, or you're cold, is because they want you to feel bad. They want you to go back to the person you used to be, because they're not appreciative of the boundaries that you have just now set for yourself. So they want to put you in a category as others who are actually bitter to make you feel uncomfortable, so you can lower your value and so you can lower your standards. That's that reverse psychology that a lot of people do once you decide to stick up for yourself and once you decide to love yourself. So it's very important that you have to continue to raise your value no matter what. You are just as important as the people that you are lowering your standards to please. Why is that? Because you are willing to sacrifice lowering your standards, making yourself unhappy to make someone else happy, right? And it takes a lot of courage. It takes someone with a good heart to do that. So now you have to put that same energy towards yourself in order for you to succeed and in order for you to thrive. Okay, most people, when they have businesses and they start evolving and they start attracting success, they're always the ones that are accused of switching up, being bitter, and most of the times people will say that to them. It's based on jealousy, it's based on them leveling up. And why? Because they cannot have a piece of the pie. And when people can't have a piece of your pie, they will lie on you, they will slander you, they will accuse you, they will do everything to make you feel insecure, to lower your standards. Do not lower your standards. Okay, in a relationship, what will happen is, if you are a good man or you are a good woman and you cannot understand why this person is mistreating you, let me just tell y'all something. They say that you have to kill people with kindness, right? The saying kill people with kindness means consistently being nice to someone even though they're being rude to you. But for someone to even create that saying to begin with means that they are thinking about using a tactic, a reverse psychology tactic, which is, I'm going to be nice to this person on purpose just to make them upset, just to kill them. But let me tell you something. A person with a big heart organically does not have to tell themselves, I'm going to kill that person with kindness. Why? Because they don't have to look for a tactic to use to pull a reverse psychology on someone else to prove a point. A person who organically has a good heart will automatically just be doing that. Just be giving, being nice to people, being kind to people. And that's why a lot of you guys get mistreated the most. Because what happens is, the nicer you are to people, the more giving you are to people, they mistreat you even more. Right? They mistreat you even more. That's why they made up that saying, kill people with kindness, because they observe the people that have big hearts, the things that they do organically, and so we're going to turn that into a tactic. You guys are not using it as a tactic. You guys are organically beautiful in your heart. You're organically gifted. You're organically giving. You have a warm soul. Right? Something that a lot of people cannot buy. A lot of people cannot find. A lot of people have lost. So because of that, those who you are extremely nice to mistreat you. When you're in a relationship with someone and they consistently lie to you or mistreat you, what happens is, you are shining a mirror in front of them. You are showing them how good of a woman you are, how good of a man you are, how deserving you are of the best. When you are consistently nice to your partner, they are seeing the best version of you. You're doing it because that's organically who you are. And what happens is, when they don't have that energy, they don't have that warmness within their heart, you, based on your actions and based how beautiful you are, it's automatically letting them know that they are not a good person. And every time they're around you, they become triggered. They become triggered because you are reminding them how much work they have to do within themselves. You're reminding them how much healing they have to do within themselves. Well, you're reminding them of the person that they used to be. And they see that person they used to be in you. And they can't understand why, no matter how many times they've mistreated you, no matter how many times they showed you they hate you, no matter how many times they've lied to you, they've abused you, they've accused you, you still have a beautifulness within your heart. You are still able to maintain your heart. That's not easy to do. People don't turn bitter for the sake of being bitter. Everyone is born with goodness in them. Something had to happen to someone for them to transition, for them to change. If you guys watch the movie Maleficent, she started out good. And look at what she went through. She got her wings cut off and she got angry. She got bitter. She wanted to get revenge. And then from then on, she had a hard time finding the goodness within her again. When you consistently are still holding on to the pureness within your heart, in their eyes, you're dissing them. And you don't know that because you're just being you. Some people will purposely make themselves dislike you. They will purposely make themselves hate you. These are the people who are not able to be fake, or they're looking for a reason to dislike you so much they can no longer be fake. They can't be fake because when they're around you, you make them feel so bad about themselves based on the person you are, they consistently have to find reasons to hate you, to be able to move on from you, to be able to not talk to you, so they can feel validated as to why they feel the bitterness within their heart. If someone feels cold in their heart and they don't have a reason as to why they feel this way within their heart, they know automatically they're a horrible person. It's not a good feeling going to bed and feeling like you're a horrible person, right? It's not a good feeling. So in order for them to validate that they're right about why it is they dislike you, they look for reasons to dislike you. They make up reasons in their mind to dislike you. They look for other people who dislike you to hang around with them so they can all dislike you together. Right? In a relationship where you're being mistreated, sometimes that person will purposely make themselves hate you, especially when you guys break up or they cut you off, they ghost you, they don't want to talk to you again. You reach out to them and they keep yelling at you, they're angry with you, and no matter how much you reach out to them and you try to do good for them, you try to be there for them, and they ignore you, they mistreat you, and you have done nothing to this person. This person is purposely finding reasons to dislike you, is purposely trying to make themselves hate you. Why? Because they know that deep down they don't deserve you. Deep down you're a good person. Same with family. It's an embarrassment sometimes when you are around your family members and you are glowing, you have good aura, you are light, you are strong as a butterfly. Okay, you're strong as a butterfly because you went up in that cocoon, you got wings. Let's just say you're like the ugly duckling and then you end up being a swan. You know what I mean? It's an embarrassment sometimes to your family. That's why they end up bringing up the past. Always bringing up the past. Always bringing up the past and trying to use it against you. It's not that, you're still the person from the past. No, it's they always want to consistently remind you of your failures because they see how beautiful you've grown. They see you as a swan. And it's an embarrassment to see you succeed. And they had no roles, no parts to play in your success. They were not there to uplift you. They were not there to love you. They were not there to push you. So they cannot claim any sort of recognition off of your success. So they would rather look for a reason to dislike you, to put you down, to validate the way they feel inside, because it's a lot easier to blame you than it is to blame themselves as to why they feel the way they feel. So they bring up the past and they throw it in your face, right? So same things with friends when it comes to leveling up. You're a good person, you got a big heart, you're giving to all your friends, and then for some reason, the same friends you give to, the same friends you look out for are the same friends that turn on you. The same friends that start beef with you. The same friends that gossip about you. Why? Because of the jealousy. Because you are a consistent reminder of how much they are feeling, and not just physically with material gains, but you're a reminder of how much they're feeling emotionally, spiritually. When you have a good heart and you've been through a lot and you are still able to maintain having a good heart, you're on the right path, honey. Because a person that is bitter has a lot more healing to do than a person who still has a good heart despite them being hurt, right? So it's very important for you guys to set values, boundaries. And like I said, I mentioned the difference between being a bitter person and having boundaries. And not letting people use reverse psychology to make you feel guilty for setting these boundaries. In a workplace, you do what you are worth. If you feel you are worth more, you get a job that is going to pay you worth more. Because if you consistently stay at that level to please other people, you're not going to evolve. But guess what? You're going to help them evolve. And then you're going to sit back and say, why is it those in my workplace who mistreated me, who used me, who made me do so much work and didn't give me recognition, why is it they're succeeding? Because you're also allowing. Once you raise your value, they will not be allowed to do this to you. Same thing with the relationship. If you step out of a relationship because someone is mistreating you and you run right back to that same relationship where that person has mistreated you and you allow the same patterns, you have lowered your value. This person is not going to have respect for you. They're not going to have any respect for you. See, when you raise your value and this person knows you've raised your value and they detach themselves from you, it's because they are unworthy of you. So when they detach themselves from you and they're angry with you because you raise their value, they're angry with you because they know you deserve better. And you will find better. And if that person is meant to be with you and he is your husband or she is your wife, best believe they are going to do whatever they can to raise their value to align with your value. Work on themselves to get themselves together so they can be that best husband and wife that you deserve. And they can treat you the way you deserve. Even with family, sometimes you have to remove yourself and keep yourself at a distance from your family, right? When you are evolving and put up them boundaries. But some people have a hard time being fake, so they will show you who they really are. The fake ones are the ones you have to be really careful of though. Okay? When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe it. Period. So yes, to answer your question, having a good heart, yes, you can win. You can win. It depends on your value, your worth, your boundaries. Now let's talk about the benefits of having a good heart. Having a good heart, one of the best benefits of having a good heart is you're different. You're different. Because let me tell you something, and this is so deep. This is so deep. Listen, it's easier to turn a good heart cold than it is to turn a cold heart good. Once your heart goes cold, it's hard to get back to a place of trust, a place of integrity, a place of love, a place of healing. But once your heart is good, right? It's so much easier to turn cold because one person lies to you, you think everybody else is like that. One person abuses you, you think everybody else is like that. And some people, they will just become angry and cold. And then some people, I'm going to treat them the way they treat me. And what happens is it becomes a consistent pattern to the point where now you have lowered your value and you have become something that you're not. And now you have become so accustomed to being the person that you were not, it's hard for you to change back. That's why I said the strongest person is a person that no matter what they've been through, they still have a good heart. They just have boundaries, but they still have a clean heart. Okay? So one of the best benefits of having a good heart is you're different. Because let's just keep it real. 80% of people that have been hurt, abused, they turn bitter. The other percentage of people that's been through that, they still have a good heart, they just have boundaries. And some of them, they have a good heart, but they have no boundaries, right? So that's a huge benefit. Here, this is how you'll know, because I noticed that a lot of people love using the empath word. Everybody loves saying they're an empath, right? But I noticed the truth, and here's the truth. A lot of people that have big hearts, they don't always say, I'm an empath, I'm an empath. A lot of people that have good hearts don't really use the empath word a lot. They rarely talk about themselves being an empath because there's something that they're not really proud of because they get hurt a lot. And they don't like talking about it because it's something that they kind of keep sacred, right? So most of the times it's the people that are very bitter, that are cold, that are slandering, that are hurting other people that use the empath word and they abuse it. Because why? They have to use it to cover up who they really are as a person. That's the mask I was telling y'all about. A lot of people that will wear masks, knowing deep down behind closed doors they're not a good person, but they will wear masks and say, I'm an empath. And you'll know if they're an empath or not because empaths don't slander people. Empaths don't hurt other people. Empaths treat others the way they want to be treated. Another benefit of having a good heart is you can sleep good at night. You can go to bed at night and you don't feel like you're in trouble for anything. You don't feel guilty for anything. If you guys for 1 second think that those who hurt you, those who mistreat you, those who abuse you, if you think for 1 second they can sleep good at night, you know that saying when people say, how do you sleep at night after what you did to that person? That's the thing. They can't sleep at night. They think about it. Don't let them fool you. Like I said, they will put on this mask in the morning before they leave their home and they will go out there and be confident and continue doing what they're doing. But behind closed doors, they will take off that mask and lay in their bed and they're like, oh, they don't feel good about themselves. They don't. They don't feel good about themselves because they know deep down that everything that they've done to you, you didn't deserve it. Everything that they have said to you, you didn't deserve it. But like I said, some will purposely find reasons to hate you so they don't feel as bad. right? So they can mask it. So a lot of you guys, you're able to go to bed, and most of the times you go to bed and you don't feel guilty for nothing. If anything, you feel bad. You don't feel guilty, but you feel sorry for yourself sometimes, because it's like, why did I go through that? What made me deserve that? So most of the times, the difference between a bitter person and a good-hearted person is a bitter person will go to bed knowing that what they did you didn't deserve, and they'll feel guilty. Whereas a person with a big heart will go to bed feeling sorry for themselves or feeling a bit of pity for themselves, because they don't know why they had to go through what they've endured. Okay. Yes, you may lose sleep at night sometimes because you don't deserve what you've been through and you wonder why you go through it. But then for some of you guys, at least you have that, that clear conscience. You're not as guilty for anything because you treat others the way you want to be treated. And the other benefit of having a good heart is God is proud of you. God is proud of you. Because look at what Jesus went through. He went through a lot. He went through a lot, and he has a huge heart. And if he can go through that, who are you to say you can't go through that? And today he's still going through that. There's still people, he's not even here no more. Yeah, he's here in spirit. But there's still people that are disliking him and slandering his name. And he's not even here physically no more. He's here in spirit, right? So it's like, if he's still going through that, who are we? We're going to continue to go through all of that, right? So the best thing to do is toughen up your skin and just have some boundaries, whether people like it or not. Just know deep down that the benefit of having a good heart is God is proud of you for having a good heart, because God knows the real you. God knows the real you, despite what everybody else says. When you are behind closed doors and you lay down at night, God knows the real you. God knows the real you. And I just want to say, I'm getting emotional, because that's one thing that makes me feel comfortable at night, makes me sleep good at night, is the fact that behind closed doors, God knows who I am as a person. God knows my heart. You know what I mean? God knows my heart. And I don't care what the world thinks about me. I don't care if people lie on me and slander me. I don't care what they think about me. Because at the end of the day, God is proud of me. And God is the only person I have to please. So I want you guys to know that God is the only person you have to please. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people say about you. There's only one person you have to please. There's only one source you have to please. That's it. Because at the end of the day, God will make things happen for you when you least expect it. It's so much easier to go to bed to know that the Creator that created the earth, created the water, created the trees, created human being, created mankind. It's such a good feeling to know that that Creator knows the real you and can see who you are and what you've been doing behind closed doors. There's no better witness than that. So anything that everybody else says is irrelevant. And I want y'all to hold on to that. Okay? Another benefit of having a good heart is empathy. Being empathic for other people, and treating others the way you want to be treated. That's a gift. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone can do it. Some people, they have a very hard time being a good person. It's very hard to be a good person. Some people have a hard time loving people, loving their enemies, despite what their enemies have done to them. The fact that you can do it just shows how powerful you are. And don't ever lose your integrity for anyone. Another benefit of having a good heart is people will trust you. Sometimes they may not act like they do, but they trust you. And they love you. Even your haters love you. You know why? That's why they find a reason to hate you. They look for a reason to hate you because it only validates their actions. They need an excuse to do what it is they do, because if they had no excuse or they don't validate it, they will be so angry at themselves. They will dislike themselves even more. And because of that confidence that they have to keep up, that mask they have to keep wearing, they have to find a reason to dislike you. But low key, you are motivating them. Low key, you are inspiring them. Low key, they love you. Your haters actually love you. And they actually trust you. And that's the thing. they are embarrassed to admit that. Them admitting that would mean putting their pride aside. And that's something they have a hard time doing. It's another part of them having to work on themselves that they're not willing to do. You know, and another benefit of having a good heart is you are healing. You are further along on your healing journey than you imagined. A lot of you guys think that you're further behind on your healing journey because you have a big heart. You're not. Even those of you who have a big heart and you don't have boundaries, you're still further along than those who are bitter. You're still further along than them. Because you never changed who you are despite what you've been through. They did. So they're further behind than you. You know, you're closer to those who have a good heart, who have boundaries. You're closer to that side than to the bitter. So you should be very proud of yourself and just work on your boundaries. Build yourself up. That you have to remember that the more bitter you are, the more healing you have to do. The more good you are within your heart towards yourself and others, the less healing you have to do. So those of you guys that maintain having a good heart thus far, you are further along on your healing journey than you thought. And I just want to say that I'm proud of you and God is extremely proud of you. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much. I will see you soon. Bye.